Yo, what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's going on? How's it going?
Man, I'm doing all right, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's a good start to the week, you know?
Tell me more.
It's just a good week. It's just a good week. It's kind of weird weather outside. I'm excited that towards the end of this week it's supposed to be like 80 degrees. I think it's a good start. It's a good start. It's a weird start, but it's a good start.
It's cold. We can say that. It's cold.
I went a long about way of trying to say that. What about you,
Bro.
man? What's going on?
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Good weekend. You know,
Yeah.
overall, Friday, good, just good overall weekend. Good start to the week. Monday went by pretty easy. Accomplished some tasks, and here we
Yeah.
are. Here we are.
I meant to ask you. I know you're into college football. Are you into college basketball as well? Are you watching the
I,
tournament?
I am not like I'll watch. I used to make a bracket and then for some reason I stopped. So I'll pick it up. I'll pick up some games, right? Like if it's on in the background, I'll watch it. Um,
Right.
I think I enjoy somewhat of the madness until it gets real, right? Like I don't want to see none of these Cinderellas make it past the Sweet 16. I don't really like that kind of. I mean, like it's cool to see like Purdue get beat by Furline or whatever the hell, and then Furman beat whoever, right? Like that's cool in the first round,
Right.
just so I can talk trash to any opposing fan bases on Twitter because I'm a
Right.
troll.
Okay.
But when push comes to shove, man, I'm like, yo, when we get down to like Elite Eight, Final Four kind
Yeah.
of stuff, give me blue bloods. I want to see good basketball. Like I don't really want to see blowout. Oh,
But if they lose, then would they have really given you the basketball that you want?
no, see
Right.
that's the thing is I don't, like when it's Furline playing, insert best number one team, right? Like
Right.
I don't want to see that as my championship game. Like I don't want to see a score that's 80-20. No,
Yeah.
give me down to the wire, two, three, four teams slugging it out, right? Like
Right.
I want to see fist fights,
Yeah.
kind of basketball. So yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I watched a little bit. Yeah, admittedly, I think you already know this. I'm a fan of chaos and anarchy.
Of course
So
you are.
I love when things just go awry. Like that's when I will literally go watch the game of the upset after it's posted that it was upset, just to and as fans lose their mind in the crowds as their team starts slipping. I think it's great. I think it's great
I
TV.
enjoy the fan, like when the chaos happens. I love the petty cameraman who
Yeah,
pants the crying fan. Like
right.
I'm that
That's
cameraman.
somebody's
That's
job.
like,
That's a dream job. That's like, and they're getting blown out at this point. It would take a miracle. And the camera guy goes, you.
oh yeah,
It's like, and it's always some girl with some guy who looks like they're in the weird friend zone and they look like they're like, what? What's going on here? That I think that's so enjoyable to me is watch
I'm
that.
here for the crying child. Like that's me.
Yeah,
Like mom and
I get
dad
you.
leverage the house to get this
Right,
kid to the Sweet 16 game. They got 4 tickets.
right.
It's UConn versus Southwest Dakota State. They're sitting center
And
court. He got
Southwest
aisle
Dakota
seat.
State is balling, and
Oh,
there's like 15 people in the crowd going wild
yeah.
with like you didn't even know they had jerseys
That's what I'm
and
saying.
like fan gear, but of
Yep.
course they do. It's 15 people in the crowd that are going bonkers
Yep.
insane, and all the massive amount of crowds and the older people when they leave. I love those shots. I love the
Oh,
shots of fed up fans are like, those are ridiculous. I'm walking away, right?
I'm never donating my money again.
But I will next year.
And I'm the dude who's sitting there watching the 10-year-old kid cry in the stands, going back and rewinding it so I can get a picture of the
Ah,
pain that person's in, so I can
why?
share
Why
it
are we
on.
watching it?
Oh, because I enjoy it, and then because because I know, like, I am an internet troll, and I can't
Right.
wait for the moment where somebody puts the crying Jordan face on top of that
Right.
kid. I live for these moments. I literally
See,
live for sports moments where we get the crying Jordan.
I feel like your version is much more dark side than my side, right? My side of this, I just know those 15 fans in the crowd for Southwest Dakota State that's upsetting UConn, they don't have enough fans. Let me lend my fandom to them just for that night, right? Just for that night, so I could be like, yes, yes, we did it. You are taking a counter view. Your counter view is, I just want to see people cry.
I want
Like,
pain.
I want the pain, the
I
misery,
want pain.
the agony of defeat.
I don't care who. If I have no rooting interest in the sport, I'm rooting for
Mhm.
pain. I want the kid. I want the adult. I want the irrational adult fan sitting in his chair crying at a football or a basketball game. That's my heart. That's what makes my heart
Right.
sing, is
Yeah,
watching other people's pain.
I
I'll
feel
say watching other people's sports pain. That is my
someone's
that's my
someone's
joy.
got to do it. Someone's got to do it. It's dirty work that must be had. I give it up to you. You know, the
It's
unspoken
hard, man.
hero,
It's
the
hard.
unspoken heroes of fandom. I think that's what that is. But no, man. So what's going on? What we got on the show? What we got going on this tonight?
How was your weekend?
My weekend was great, man. We went out on Friday.
Yeah,
We
it
had a
was
great
dope.
time. We had like a guys' night. We went out with Justin, who was on the show last week. Went to a couple bars, just got a chance to catch up, man. I mean, what a great time that was. What about for you, man?
Yeah.
What
No, it was good. So, obviously, a Friday we went out. I had a great time. We hadn't done that in, I don't even, like, it's
ages?
probably been 6 months,
Right. It's been a
maybe
while.
8. It's been a long
Yeah.
time since we all got together. So we probably need to commit to each other to do that a little bit more regularly, because it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Saturday, I broke a rule of mine.
Okay.
For those who don't know, this will lead us kind of in our first topic. For those who don't know, I have well, it's a written rule. It's probably not an unwritten rule at this point. It's a rule. Everybody who knows me knows it. I
Okay.
traditionally don't go to children's parties. I
Mm.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Why?
I don't go to children's parties or I don't go to baby showers. Don't do either one. Those
So
are
tell me more. Tell me more. What's with this rule? Why no children's party? Why no baby showers? Because it seems like totally different demographic. Like one
yeah.
is a lot of pregnant people, or I guess not a lot of pregnant people, but one pregnant person and a lot of baby stuff, right?
Yeah.
Other one is just kid stuff. So why no kids parties? Why no baby showers?
So baby showers are pretty pointless, even if they're co-ed. They're never made for the fun of the guys, right? It's
Okay.
always built for, it's like women stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like that's fine. That's just not for me. So go have fun, and I won't go. Like, I didn't go to my own 2 kids, never went to either one of their baby showers, didn't show up at the end like other husbands do, didn't go. Hard, fast rule. I don't go. Not my thing.
Okay.
Kids' birthday parties, it's just too many children. Like, I think I have my 2 kids are enough, right? Like, in the grand scheme of total number of kids that I really want to be surrounded by, my 2 are enough. And
Right.
so I just choose not to partake in children's birthday parties, because it's
Okay.
like kids don't really follow the rules of the birthday party, right? Like,
Right.
the structure that is birthday. Hey, we're going to do this thing. We're going to gather. We're going to do a thing. We're going to do something that kind of lives in the theme of the party. Then we're going to cut cake, sing happy birthday, whatever. Kids don't do it. So I'm like, I don't want to be bothered. Like, so Candace traditionally takes the boys to their birthday party, because I'm like, yo, I don't want to be bothered with
So
anybody else's children but my own.
but now I have questions though, right? So like, are you doing birthday parties for the boys?
Yeah, they get birthday. Yeah, so they get their own birthday parties, and I'm there. I'm present.
So you go to their birthday party.
So some of this is I don't have a choice,
Okay.
but I also try to ensure that my kids, at least the older one, because the younger one, he been shortchanged like hell because all his birthdays have been kind of related to COVID, right? So his birthday party, he has tradition. He has had like second kid birthday parties, right? Hey, you going to the park, bro? Like Zay, like yo, we doing a Nerf gun war. We doing a science experiment party. We doing a summer pool party, right? All out.
Hey.
All out. Zay, Avery, we're going to meet up at the park. Y'all can get this cake and like a slide. You know? So my kids, yes, I will go to their parties. We will have a good time. Boom, boom, boom. We in and out, you know, fun times. Other people's birthday parties, like I came to Remy's, because that's my goddaughter, right?
Right.
I'm a smile. But I'm also bring a drink. But I also rolled up with bourbon and ginger ale, right?
You did. And it was much needed. It was much needed. I mean, that's the role though, right? Like, I don't know, man. We went to a birthday party as well this weekend for our goddaughter. She turned 10, right? So it's that I always get a little bit weird when the birthday parties are at a trampoline park, right?
Oh,
it's just something about these trampoline parks and the waivers and the signups. Like they want you to register. It's like sign here in blood that you acknowledge that your kid will get hurt and we're not at fault for any of this, even though we have no rules and it's kids just bouncing around everywhere.
They be fitting for themselves in there. I had a coworker husband of mine. He did his kid's birthday party. And so at the trampoline spot, I had to take Zay. Boom. He thinking he's older than I am. He thinking I'm gonna get out there with the kids, have a great time. Went up 3 times, came back down, torn ACL. Torn Achilles. Torn Achilles, walking boot for a year and a half.
No. Well, I mean, he got out of birthday parties for the next year and a half. It sounds.
That's what I'm saying. But see, that didn't have to happen, right? So this is not because it was. You got to choose better. So I just choose not to go to kids' birthday parties.
Well, see, I mean, I just think like you got to go to the birthday parties. Now, what you get out of the birthday party, it's like I'm mostly in like support mode most of the birthday party, right? Like Danielle was like, "Oh, you got to get the jump socks," and I was like, "I don't need jump socks." She was like, "Are you gonna go out there with Cooper?" And I was like, "No, I don't need that. I don't need that." One, it was like 150 degrees in there. It's kids sweating all over the place, right? Then you're trying to pay attention. They got a zip line, they got a basketball hoop, they got a dodgeball thing, they got kids jumping off of a plank. It's like, I don't understand what's going on in this place, but this is a great business model for just like massive chaos, right?
Yeah.
And then like you do the cake, you do like there's always like Papa John's pizza or something like that. And I don't mind it, right? Like I don't mind the birthday party. I'm just more so like when it's time to go, it's time to go, right? If we can't work out this energy boost from this cake, then we got problems because the kids are going to be way too hyped. So yeah, it's kind of like, I don't mind birthday parties,
The jumpy place forces children to like go hard in the paint off rip.
It does.
From go, you walk in, they don't even want to wait in the little registration line. It's like, oh, we at the jumpy place,
right?
On go.
And kids, it's like as they walk in, they start losing their minds, right? Like they're like, I don't have to wait in line. I'm just gonna go jump. I'm jumping. Then they got like weird code systems, like ladies, like every hour there was a voice that popped on, cut whatever music was playing that I didn't hear, and all of a sudden went like this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have an orange bracelet, it is now time to leave. Thank you for coming. Orange bracelets, leave now. 10 minutes later, orange bracelets, first warning, your time was up 10 minutes ago. I was like, it doesn't sound like they have a way of controlling this.
So what killed me is it's always the people who work there, it's always like your very first job.
Right.
So you got to be
It
pulling
is.
16,
It is.
maybe 16,
Yeah.
17, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And they don't be policing the wristbands.
No,
And
they don't.
so
They don't got
it'd be
time
like
for
they
all
called white 2 hours ago, and it's kids out here still jumping in white wristbands. And I'm like,
right.
I ain't saying nothing
Well,
because my kid the
what I
one with the white
realized,
wristband.
what I realized, you the kid with the white whisper. So like the thing I realized is them kids understand that the actual rules for this place are they can only heavily recommend that you leave. They can't grab your kid and pull him off of the trampoline because they know that a parent gonna come up and be like, "Oh, bah," right?
Yep.
And knock you out, right? So they can only be like, okay, I think your time is up. If your kid is still bouncing, like, nope, I'm going, right? They can't do anything about it. What are they
Well,
going to
see,
do? Call the police?
as a parent, with the jumpy place, I will say the saving grace is that wristband, if you use it right, it does give you your out. Because you
Okay.
can say, hey, they said your wristband purple, you got another 10 minutes, and then we got to go. Right. So it
See,
should be able to give you some level of it ain't me that's kicking you out as the parent.
right.
The
The
jumpy
scapegoat.
player saying you got to go.
It gives you a
So
scapegoat.
so it gives you the scapegoat, right? Like so you
Right.
can I scapegoated. We went to Legoland one time with the boys, and like it had to be probably about 4 in the afternoon. I took Zay, he was younger. It was a dude in there like sweeping Legos. This place don't close till 8 o'clock. But the dude was sweeping Legos. We was already 3 hours in. Ain't too many much more we can do at Legoland. He came through sweeping up Legos. I was like, oh, Zay, look, he cleaning up. We got to go. And my man looked at, he's like, we don't close till. I said, sir, it's time to go, right? And he was like, yes, it's we're closing in a minute. Like, bro, help get me out.
That
Help
that
get
was
me out.
that was
So, yeah.
kind. Yeah, that was kind. It was beneficial. It was helpful, right?
Hey, you got to look for your outs. And so
You did.
places like Jumpy Spot at least will give you an out. But I live at the Jumpy place. I don't jump with the kids. That's not my thing. Again, saw my man tear his Achilles. That's all I had to see. I learned from others. I love to see the parents try to relive the glory days and like go off that one trampoline where you flip into like the foam.
Yeah.
And I love to see like the parent not either be able to flip or they get their heavy ass sunk down into the foam and somebody else got to come and get their ass out.
Yeah.
I live for
No, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. We like, yeah, no. I will say this. You were asking about the weekend. And so this was Saturday for you. It was Saturday for me as well.
Yeah.
Sunday for me was straight up adulting, right? We went to an Atlanta home show. I didn't even know these things happened.
Hold on. Wait. Pause. What is an Atlanta home show?
Atlanta home show is where you go to like basically a convention center, and it's none but like contractors. It's like your garage people. It's like your kitchen renovation people. It's like all these people all around trying to sell you on services for your house. Like, oh, I do gutter cleaning. I got the siding. I fix fascia. I do lawns. I got it all, right? Like, so it's all these people. And I mean, this place was packed, right?
Oh, did you take the kids?
No.
Okay.
Hell,
all right.
we dropped them kids off with Danielle's dad was like, yo, we trying to get some quotes on some stuff. We try to find out how much stuff costs. We got a whole list of things that we want to do at the house, do for the house. And this was the easiest way for me instead of looking up a ton of Yelp reviews, right?
So do you get discounts from people if you say,
You do.
hey, I was here?
Yeah. So people
dope.
they're trying to get consultations and all that. So they're like, yo, if you sign up for a free consultation, I can give you 25% off whatever the quote is. I'm sure. Right. So it's like, and like, I mean, it's some dope stuff out there, but it is straight up adulting. I would have never went to this thing as like in my earlier 30s, in my late 20s. This wasn't even on the radar, but it was a guy there talking about how they could preserve your deck, right? Like he was like, oh yeah, we have this technology, we come through, strip your deck out of the paint, get all the water out of it, turn it into non-porous, whatever. And it's like, it's stuff like that. It's like pure home improvement stuff, right? But it was interesting. It was interesting. We ran into other people there, and I felt like we both were partially ashamed, but we were also both pretty much proud of each other for going there, right? Where it was like, yeah, I see you, you see me. Mm-hmm. This is what we're doing on Sunday. But also, hey, if you're looking for an outdoor grill, go down to row 400 because they got it. They got all the grills. And I mean, like, this place was huge. Okay. It was so many people there.
All right, so hold on. Next year, sign me up for this.
Oh, I found out they come back twice a year. They're gonna be back in October. It is that popular.
As long as it ain't on football. Well, that's a Sunday, so we good. As I say, I ain't going on a Saturday because that might interfere with a football game.
Yeah.
So, I'll hit that.
Yeah, I mean that we got amazing quotes. It was really interesting.
What y'all gonna do for the crib? What y'all trying to do to the crib?
We're trying to do a new kitchen island. We want to do.
Let's speed past the island because Candace already she won an island.
Hey, she's on the game too. Game. That island business is what's up. So
we're not. So skip. We're not going to talk about skip.
So what's the other we also want to do underdecking. We want to do underdecking.
Oh yeah. You got to get that. Yeah, I feel that.
So we're thinking about doing that. We also bigger project, longer term project. We want to put a transition wall from the kitchen out to the deck. Like we want a wall of like panels that kind of open up.
Just do that. Do that first. Do that first.
I don't know, man. You got to do a lot of stuff to that. But anyway, they was hooking it up, and it was like, yeah, we could come out. Here's the latest and greatest. We also talking about maybe putting another deck in the back of the yard and putting a shed on top and some other stuff. So we got projects. We got ideas.
Hey, let me tell you something. One thing that they don't tell you about being an adult, and Keisha hit it, home remodeling is not for the weak. But literally, being an adult is projects ain't never fucking finished. It's like you will finish a project or finish paying on a project, and it's another one you got to get. Like it's just never done.
It's never done.
Never done.
It just moves. It just moves to the next thing, right?
Fan.
So, but I will say this: I had an interaction with a contractor that Danielle could see maybe 5 minutes after, like, this guy really bothered me, right? And I was ready to snap on this guy. So we're walking around, the contractor, him and his buddies, his good old boy crew, standing around, just shooting the stuff, just talking. We stand there for like a good 5-10 minutes just being ignored, right? He finally comes over. He's like, hey, what can I help you out with? We're like, oh, well, we got a project that we're trying to do. Tell me about the project. We want to do a kitchen island. He was like, I mean, our minimum is 40,000 out the gate just to get me to come and look at it. I mean, that's nowhere near that. Maybe if you had a handyman and a friend that likes to do work on the weekends, they can maybe hook you up. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, so then I was like, well, we were thinking about maybe doing the cabinets and stuff. Well, now you're dominoing and you're giving me more, but nowhere near my minimum. Tell you what, why don't you go find a handyman that could really help you out with that stuff there? I'm like, all right. You lost my business. Thank you.
That's
if I had his card, I'd put him on blast. But
because really, had he said something right. See, my thing is I want somebody. When I think about my handyman, or when I think about a contractor come to the crib, I really want somebody that could just, here's my list of projects, knock them out. One person or one company, knock them out. I don't want to be Mr. General Contractor man and or Mr. Project Manager dude and have to manage a bunch of different people running around in my house. Right. Oh, it's time for me to get the electrician. It's time for me. No, I want one company that can just do it all. Right.
Hey, legit. We walked around. we finally came up on a guy, a Hispanic dude, that was just sitting there, just sitting in his little booth. Like he ain't had a lot of stuff with him. He was like, "Oh yeah, we do it all. We do everything." I was like, "Yeah, you got a minimum?" He was like, Nah, we'll just come out, quote everything, and then we can attack it in phases. We can quote out everything you want to do.
That's my man.
And then we can come up with a plan for how to do it. That's what I'm talking about. That guy going to my business. Right.
Run me
that
his
dude,
number.
I will tell you right now, that dude's business was called JMR. And the dude was so receptive. He was like, "Yo, put your number in my phone, like right now, right? I'm gonna get you slated. We're gonna get this thing linked up, and I'll come out. We'll quote everything, give you an itemized deal, and then we can start thinking about how we want to approach this."
Text me that I'm gonna remind you. Send me his info. I'm gonna be like, You met my homie, run by the crib, because we got a list.
Right. We got a list of things, and I just got a bunch of ideas for how we can make this thing tight. You know what I mean?
And the reality is bro, like like Tasha said, being an adult is project, right? We're gonna always have projects. We need Candace and I just talked about it the other day. We need the house repainted on the outside. We want to get the inside trim repainted.
Hey, that's what, and this is what I was trying to tell him, not humble bragging a little bit. I was like, "Yo, we got a show. We got a community of people. We talk about things all the time. I'd love to like broadcast your business." I found a business out in Fayetteville, Georgia, that family-owned business. They do doors, windows, siding, gutters, all that stuff. And you just never know when somebody gonna come up with something, and you gotta hook them up.
That's what
all I'm saying is like, yo, chill with the snooty ass attitude.
That's what I'm saying.
And then maybe we can make more business happen for you. But you out here tripping. You thinking in nickels and dimes, and we thinking in dollars. You know what I mean? But
hey man,
it is what it is.
We gonna always have projects, and I want somebody that I'm gonna ride with forever. Right? I don't want to think about it. I want to look at something or something happen in the crib, and Candace be like, "Dang, we need to get this fixed." I'll be like,
"Yo, call my man. Call him up. Yo, like, let's get the quote. Let's make this happen." Right. I trust you.
Once you get my trust, if you gonna come out here for something little, I'm gonna tack something on the top of it. Like, yo, you here? Can you also do this? And that's more money for you.
Right, Brad. All I'm saying, Keisha, Tasha, anybody, if you got a guy, we need to be collecting these guys and be like, "Yo."
Keisha said she got a black dude. He do upscale construction. Hold on, I don't necessarily need upscale. I just need upscale. What's the Keisha? I think Keisha, you and I playing in a different tax bracket.
Upscale. That upscale part changed things. It's like what? It's got alpaca.
See, Tasha talking about upscale. Like, hey,
everybody on with that. Hey, what's that? It's got that Italian granite.
Right. I just need scale. I don't need the up part.
Right. No. This reminds me that I have a coworker that I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She said, "I'm whelmed." And I said, "What?" She said, "I'm whelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not underwhelmed. I'm whelmed." And I was like,
Tasha said it sounded like you had the black tax on it. Hey man.
Oh, the name of the company is Upscale Construction.
Nah.
That's the passion. Yeah, maybe hey, I can see that. Upscale was like a magazine, wasn't it? I can see that being black. That's like a signal.
He running me off with that upscale. I just need regular scale.
I need medium scale construction.
Don't need up, don't need down. Hey, hit me right in the middle. This ain't my forever home. I'm just here until somebody call me and want to give me more than I paid for, right? So
I'm not here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. No, I think I found him. I think I actually found Buddy. Upscale Construction. Yep. I think this is him. He does. Yeah, he looks reasonable. I give him a holler, man. I'll take it. Yeah.
Keisha trying to backtrack, talking about she ain't got no money. It's too late to lie. It's too late to lie.
You know you got the coins. We know you have the coins. But hey, yeah. So that was Sunday. That was adulting the big way. trying to get some quotes on things. I felt like a big guy trying to get some quotes. I was like, I'm not about to spend this money, but I'm trying to plan for this money.
Yeah. You got to budget this stuff. Maybe we
Right.
need to get Tasha back on. So Tasha, she got to come on for 2 episodes. She got to come on to talk about budgeting and paying down debt. Those are 2 episodes that Tasha got to come on when we do our financial series.
When we talk about the debt, when we talk about this debt, let's get this because I gotta get this money. You know what I mean? I want to be happy doing the money dance. Right?
Tasha, that's your homework. We're gonna call you. We're gonna get you back on the show for a convo about debt and a convo about savings. So anyway, so let's transition. What about today?
I don't know, man. It was a bunch of crazy stuff. Can we talk a little bit about this Kevin McCarthy Trump thing? Because I'm not really sure it's a hero villain. It's more so like black people watching on the side of the road as something happens with the Republican Party. And maybe I shouldn't say black people. It's like liberal progressives watching something go down on the side and being like, this ain't got nothing to do with me. This is in-house fighting with y'all, right? But over the weekend, Donald Trump said he expected to be arrested on Tuesday because of an indictment over payments made to Stormy Daniels, right? So long time ago, this was a big thing about this hush payment, hush money. Apparently, it got invested in the quiet line and then brought back up again later on. It's been brought out. So there's an indictment. He tweeted he expected to get arrested. Obviously, his followers go a little bit crazy. He says to him, my people got to hit the streets. We got to protest. We got to let everybody know we will not stand for this. We want America back. Kevin McCarthy, leader of the House GOP, House Republican Party, comes back out and says, no, wait. Right? Yes, he might be getting arrested, but we will not riot. We are going to calmly process and let the process play out. We don't have time for that. Let's just see how things go. I need everybody to calm, peace, resolve, because we don't need y'all storming up here again, starting back off again. So back off, calm down, stop listening to Trump. I thought it was chaos and hilarious chaos playing out. What about you, man? What did you think about it?
I enjoy it all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I enjoy this process. Because he has this indictment pending from New York, an indictment pending from Georgia, and now Georgia is apparently trying to change their laws to give Congress or state legislature, the legal authority to remove district attorneys. That came out. I think that just passed Georgia House 2 weeks ago, sitting in the Senate. And then Governor Kemp is expected to sign it because Fannie out here in Georgia, talking about, or at least the grand jury in Georgia returned what they say, they haven't said, but what everybody's leaning towards is Trump getting indicted in Georgia for his role in Colin Rathensperger. And there's a bunch of other people who testified in front of the grand jury who the grand jury said lied. So now the state of Georgia is trying to fast track a bill that would allow them to remove any prosecutor in the state of Georgia for what they deem to be misconduct. So I say all that to say it's a very interesting time to watch the judicial system work.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see, right? I think we'll see if people are. I appreciate, for all the words. I appreciate the fact that he does get indicted. If they lose in the court of law, okay, cool. They lose in the court of law, but I think we have to have a system that at least on its face says nobody's above the law, and so.
Right.
I just want to see, again, this is to me like, Furman beaten or fairly beaten Purdue, right? Like, yeah. I'm just here for the chaos. I am literally here to watch the chaos of what ensues from Donald Trump being indicted and still trying to run for office. Because again, he can get indicted tomorrow, but a trial ain't starting for months, if not a year. So he gonna be running for office while
facing an indictment over misconduct.
I'm here for the chaos. I'm here for the chaos.
I think it's kind of crazy. I'm also a big fan of just watching how things play out. And like I said, it's good for once it not being Democrats versus Republicans. It is mostly Republican versus Republican, crazy versus crazier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And add to this, I will say one of the best quotes I heard over this past week had to be Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about Russia invading Ukraine. And when someone said, yeah, we just can't have Russia invading Europe, she's like, I've never heard of Russia ever invading anywhere in Europe. I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, do you not know that Ukraine is in Europe, ma'am? And she was like, I've just never heard of Russia invading Europe. That's not a thing.
That girl is dumb as that woman is dumb as a box of rocks. And it's embarrassing that she's a Georgia congressman. But you get BS like that in the House. I mean, like that's what you get. Like you get these kind of candidates, and it's embarrassing to watch. And so it's unfortunate that this woman has been elected to represent any constituents, but she's an embarrassment, and she will continue to be there because the constituents there, live and die on Republican Party and propaganda. So it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. So that was my one kind of rabbit hole, very quick rabbit hole. I'm not going to go further down that, but I just thought.
I got one. I mean, if we're running the full political circle, I mean, you got what's going on in Florida with Ron DeSantis and his anti-woke, DEI legislation that he's pushing down there and trying to take over the university system and pretty much ensuring that they can't teach subjects that a student would find divisive in nature, or that they can't have entities on campus that students would find divisive in nature. So no gender studies, no black, Black history classes. A lot of people in
African-American history.
Yeah, you go African-American history. A lot of people in the Greek system that are in predominantly Black Greek organizations are like, this is going to target us. So it's embarrassing.
Yeah. It is, man. It is kind of crazy. And it's like, this almost seems, it's almost like Ron DeSantis is almost like that NFL professional athlete that is at the last year of their contract, and they're just trying to go extra hard to try and get a re-up, right? And it's like, you can't possibly believe on this. And for the people of Florida, I would also want to remind them, like, he's obviously running for president.
Yep.
So he's gonna plant all these seeds and then leave before they all fall apart. That's a Donald Trump move, because that's what he did in Atlantic City, New Jersey, for a long time. Is massive chaos and then
is now you see both of these, all the candidates, well, specifically Trump, and like DeSantis is running on, hey, I'm Trump without the chaos, right? Like I'm Trump without the legal issues. So hey, I'll do all the Trumpy things that you guys like hate brown people, but you won't have to worry about me saying the quiet part out loud, right? So I mean,
kind of crazy.
It's crazy to watch this party run full steam ahead to the right? Like, hey, I think Florida now has a law in place that at any time you can make a claim against a book, and then the library has to pull that book off the shelf, or the school systems have to pull those books off the shelf because a parent complained that, and then it has to go through like this filter process. But essentially what ends up happening in his library is just pull it off the shelf and never put it back. So you're losing you know, you're ruining the opportunity for people to actually gain knowledge, all because you're afraid of that people are going to learn what your parents did.
I mean, I just think it's unfortunate for the people of Florida, and maybe they don't anticipate this being an issue. I never really thought about it from this lens, but uh, from a job preparedness piece of this, like we were talking about the economy and different things and preparing for jobs of the future, these kids that are growing up in a system like this are very sheltered, right? And you're essentially creating the basis for the thing you were trying to protect against, right? Which is
But
like they were saying, like, oh, these kids are too sensitive, they can't cope, they can't know
mhm.
things, they can't do things. It's like you're kind of furthering that more by sheltering them from real world things that are happening.
But I mean, but that's the thing, right? Like that's the basis for the party.
Right.
It's the least educated I can make my constituents, the more likely they are to believe in the foolishness and the lies that we can then force feed them. Right now, granted, I am also not going to leave the Democratic Party out of having their own foolishness and lying to constituents. Right? I think the
Right.
system is what the system is. But I think the reality of what we can look at today is I think we can have a conversation about politics without both sidesing this thing, without
Right.
saying that Republicans are bad. And oh, by the way, Democrats are just as bad. No, Republicans right now are pretty much taking that bad cake, right?
Yeah.
Like,
They're going
we
pretty
banning
hard.
books. Yeah, we
Yeah.
going hard after transgender folks. Like, like fam, if you don't want that stuff in your house, don't bring it in your house.
Right. Backing out.
Right. Like, but
Backing out.
we, but they, and so it's interesting from my perspective, kind of enjoying watching politics work and watching the system play out. It's really interesting
Right.
watching that party run really, really, really fast and to the right,
Right.
and seeing, does the country over the next years tilt further to the right and go, and we move the needle. So like it's like, oh well, they want to go this far. Well, it's not. Let's just go here. Well, here is
Right.
still bad as hell,
Right.
right? Or
Right.
do we still stay center? Do we stay center left as a country and say, no, we don't want those ideals. We can have a conversation around fiscal policy, being conservative around our money, even being somewhat conservative around our political discourse, but that level of extremism, we don't really want that in the system. So I'm intrigued to see where we go.
Yeah, I think it is going to be interesting watching how this plays out over the long term view because I think it's just bad politics all around.
It's,
But
it's trash
who am, I,
politics.
who am I to comment on these things? The whole system is getting a little bit out of whack, honestly. So it's I don't know, man. I don't
It's
know.
intriguing. I mean, I think it's only intriguing. So it's intriguing and it's depressing at the same time, right? Because if you have the financial wherewithal to insulate your family from the decisions of some of the policies,
Right,
then your life is better, right? Where you don't necessarily live and die on every piece of politics that comes out from Republican states. Um, but if you're those who don't necessarily have the financial means, like in Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee, the governor there, just rolled back child labor laws. And so now you can work, I think, at 15, 14 or 15 without the consent of your parents.
right,
Whereas everywhere else, I think you can work at 15 or 6. I think it's 16 or wherever, but you got to get a work permit and your work permit has to be signed off by your parents. Well,
right.
now
I remember that. Yeah,
now in Arkansas, I think you can be 14 and work without the consent of your parents. And so what they fear is, because they've had a bunch of companies get busted, namely chicken processing plants, with having kids underage working in hazardous conditions. And
right.
so that's what they're
Why they
worried
not
about.
in school? Why they not in school? Like that's kind of crazy. You think about it, it's like why you not in school? Why? Why you not learning? Why you up here at the chicken plant?
I mean, you can imagine who your target population is for that, though, right? Like if you did that, if you had that same law in Georgia, your target population is not going to be the kids who have two parents at home whose parents are doing all right. Those kids are in school. Our kids would be in school. It's going to be the parents who are struggling to make it. You know, mom or dad, it might be single mom, might be two parents at home, but both of them might be hustling and grinding with their jobs. And now kids feel some level of obligation to have to pitch in. So it's never going to be the people at the top who have to worry about their kids working in chicken factories. It's going to be the kids at the bottom who's worried about helping my mom or dad put food on the table. And now I'm in hazardous conditions instead of being in school. Right. And so if I'm at work at 15, I mean, I'm not going to college.
Right.
You know, like, so now I'm leaving a state with horrible economic, educational numbers that I'm making it worse because kids ain't in school and they ain't going to college. So, or the only kids that are going to college are the ones whose parents have means. So anyway, I promise y'all I wasn't going to get on this high horse, but y'all almost. This is why I don't want to talk about politics too much.
We're gonna have to save the politics for later as things even play out.
It's coming. We're gonna be forced to talk about it. So until then, I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, man. So I think you're ready for our favorite part of the episode.
Hold on, we got to talk about. Hold on. Before we do this, 3 minutes. Got to talk.
We got to talk about it, but this is some crazy stuff. You sent this to me. I said, Lord, what is wrong with people?
So I don't know if y'all have seen it. I hope you have.
Wait. I think you gotta file it. You gotta put it under file this under thoughts that you've had that you should never post. And then further, you should never record and then post those thoughts out. Right.
There you go. Now, these aren't my thoughts. Well, my commentary is my commentary. The thoughts are not my thoughts. So today, a dude recorded, watched, and then posted a video of himself in another country talking about how people going to that country and buying sex and overpaying for it is driving up the cost of sex for everybody else. So my black dude was in Dominican Republic. If y'all haven't seen the video, it's on the internet. Literally, Kev on Stage just shared it. I shared it on Twitter this morning. It was 2 minutes and 20 seconds of me utterly speechless watching this dude
walk around. He's walking around in public too.
Another country.
He's walking around in public, and he has a GoPro strapped to his chest. But he's talking to his cell phone, walking around. He's like, yeah. So y'all paying too much. You throwing off the economy. And I'm like, dude, why are you doing this? Why would we do this?
It's amazing. All right. Tasha, I'm gonna put the link in the chat so y'all can have it. This is gonna take you out of Twitter, but just so y'all can have it.
It is like a why. Like, but why?
It's amazing. Like I didn't know. So, okay.
The fudgery that people go through, and it's like, why would you do this? Why would you do this?
I knew Tasha was going to be out of pocket.
Inflation, eggs, sex, it's all the same. Inflation.
I don't think.
About,
Candace and I, we've been together for a long. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Right. No. Go ahead. Because I think you're going.
Candace and I have been together a long time, man. I didn't realize the depth at which people were running overseas to pay for sex in other countries.
This is crazy.
Like I didn't know, and the fact, like, I didn't think you could be that lame that you couldn't find one person that would love you or tolerate you enough to either be with you on one level, or y'all were just in a situationship, right? I didn't know
Right.
that the times were so hard out here in the streets that you couldn't find a situationship for yourself in America. Like we live in Atlanta, all just people everywhere, and you telling me you're that lame
Right.
that you got to fly to Thailand, you got to fly to the Dominican Republic,
And
and
but
in
wait,
most cases have underage sex with women in another country.
here's the additional part of this. You go to these places long enough and well enough, you do this like so often that you can compare the economies of what's happening. Like, let's be honest. When you told me about the story, I said, remember when you were in high school and there was a nice young lady who you wanted to date? You're like, man, this is pretty much pretty woman. You know, I really like this young lady. And then one of your boys comes up, says she only dates college dudes. And you're like, she's a sophomore in high school. Who's dating college guys? What college dudes are dating high schoolers, right? And then when you get into college and you realize you meet that guy that's like, yo, this girl that I'm dating and her friends, when they go to Chuck E. Cheese on Saturday,
Man,
we gonna link up. And it's like, you're a pedophile. You're a
that's
pedophile.
what it is. That is
You're a pedophile.
fam.
Stop.
And
Stop
what's
with the
crazy
pedophilia, man. Like, what is
is
wrong with people out here? You know
Tasha
what I mean?
said he know the going rate.
He
Like,
knows the rates. Like, that's crazy. Like, someone
really,
said
he's going that much that you know the rate.
he's going that much to where he brought up $50 and was like, they'll laugh at you because they laugh. They do laugh about how that won't get you. And it's like, what is wrong with people? What is happening? What is happening out here? The whole sex economy thing, I can't even deal with. I can't even wrap my mind around this because, as you just said, I'm happily married, bro. Like, I ain't out here in these streets. I ain't built for that. If this
I ain't
is a
built for it.
normal way this is working, tap me
Fam,
out. Man. Tap
fam.
me out.
Look, real quick, I got to do it. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna just go Google flights real quick because
No, no,
in
don't
order
do
to
it.
know the rates, you
Don't do
got
it.
to invest time.
Right.
You
Don't
have
do
to invest time.
Time, money. I mean,
And
humility. You gotta dignity.
can
You
you
gotta
not
sacrifice your.
invest that,
Like, what's wrong with you, man? What is
can
wrong?
you not invest that same amount of time and effort and money into
The
something
thirst.
real?
The thirst is real, and apparently, I didn't understand that. You sent me that video, and this guy is like openly walking around talking about it, and it's like, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. I feel
But
bad
what
for
kills
everyone.
me though, real quick, is the amount of. So I watched it on Facebook, and then I saw it. No, I watched it on Twitter, and then somebody dropped a link to his YouTube channel, and then I went down a rabbit hole, right? And so I
Keisha
found it
said,
on YouTube.
Keisha said, we ain't getting a divorce. You go to your side of the house. I'll go to mine. We meet in the middle on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I I just don't
Tasha got
understand.
questions. Question. What? What?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
wait.
See,
What is
Tasha's like
that?
me. So Tasha, so now me being the skeptic that I am, or me being the person that I am, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, yo, now that this dude is gonna go viral, that means Delta upping the flight prices because they
Right.
know people want to do it. But I'm just
People will
trying
be
to take
like,
my family for a vacation.
bruh,
And yeah,
I
so Punta Cana right now, May 26th through 29th, nonstop on Frontier, bro. Frontier, 539. 539.
I'm sorry. All of this is gut wrenching to me. It's just fucking sick to me. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I think it's called like sex tourism or something like that. It's like I just don't get it. I just don't understand. And it's like it's just weird. It's a weird space. It's a weird space. It's like super fucking weird.
And then of course you open the video and I'm like, first thing you do is you go,
he's black.
He's black.
But you black? You black?
But what upsets me is when you watch the video, he starts to reference things. I think he's like, yo, when you get in there and you start throwing money around like it's Magic City. And so then you go, shit, he's black.
He's from Atlanta. Damn. But now I'm like, bro, you just throwing away all your money. Like you in Magic City like that. Like what's
See, here go my issue, right? Is when all right, so we've deduced, obviously, because the dude is black. He seems like he's probably our age. He referenced Atlanta strip clubs, so he lives here.
This is crazy.
I've been out the game a long time. It can't be that hard to win in Atlanta.
I mean, I've heard horror stories that the scene in Atlanta is pretty rough, but pretty rough
for women.
I don't know. I think it might be rough all around because I think Atlanta for single people can be very challenging because it's not real. Nothing is real for people in Atlanta. Like it's like you meet someone, you're like, "Hello, how are you?" They're like, "Oh, I'm a R&B artist or something." I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I could see where it would be very challenging, but also you're not helping with the honesty. Going to Dominican Republic, tripping about the inflation of sex tourism like that, you lost.
If we saying if we're averaging, if my dude is averaging $500 for the flight, $200 for a place to, so I'm saying maybe he getting a spot $150 a night. He there 3 days. That's $400. So he already in $1,000 before he bought the sex and before he got food and alcohol. You telling me you can't win in Atlanta with $1,000?
I don't know, bro. I just don't get it.
I'm sorry, and that's just me doing quick irrational math, bro. And I'm like, how? I don't understand the why. I mean, outside of you were talking about irrationality of a pedophile. I struggle. I don't understand
all of this. I just is like it's foreign to me. I don't understand, and maybe it's because I like my dollars too much, or I'm not a perv, right? It's so simple to me. There's one simple rule that most women require of you in life: don't be a pervert. Don't be a perv.
It's the floor. Right.
Don't be a perv. Like, why don't you just go to Dominican Republic to go to Dominican Republic? Why you got to go to Dominican Republic and then talk about sex, the sex economy, and put it up on video? So now when you meet a nice young lady 5 years from now, and she says, "Man, you look familiar," you're going to be like, "Oh, yeah? Well, I do social media." "Oh, you do social media?" She's going to look on your Twitter account. She's going to look through your media, and she'll be like, "Oh, what's this video in Dominican Republic? Here you go, a whole history."
Media.
She will.
She's not going to have to search his media because Google's SEO is going to push the most watched joint to the top of the search.
There you go. So
you're going to Google this dude. It's going to be boom, point blank number one. Him talking about sex. Him talking about sexing up in the Dominican Republic.
Right.
And somebody in the comment section, again, I dove deep. I went deep because I saw this and I was in shock. So I dove through the comment section. One dude was like, "This is why I don't go to the Dominican Republic no more because it's too expensive. I go to Thailand."
Nope. See? Nope. Tapping out. Tapping out. Take me out, coach. I don't need to be in this thread. I don't need to be. I've watched too many episodes of SVU. I don't need to be nowhere near none of that stuff. Like, I imagine like scrolling through, you reading a comment, right? And I imagine Olivia Benson showing up at your house and being like, "Oh, you read the comment though."
No, it ain't gonna be Olivia
You read
Benson. It's gonna be that
the
dude,
comment.
man. Like
It's gonna be Stabler. It's gonna be Stabler or Benson or somebody, Ice-T showing up and being like, "You were looking at sex tourism. That's what you were looking." Nope, 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 nothing,
Fam.
dead. If that guy walked up to me and was like, "Hey man, let me tell you about this sex tourism. Get the F out of my face. Get out of here.
Fam.
Go."
Like,
Go.
and if we're being honest, right? Like, if my man is investing, 2 racks on this trip for the 4-day weekend, he could have took somebody with him.
Could have.
He could have got a girl.
But then this is how you know this dude, he might be from Atlanta, but he's not from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude said, he said something like, you're gonna turn all the women in these countries into what y'all don't like, which is American women. And it's like, oh, really leaning into the side of like, I don't want a love life back in the States, are you?
Fam.
Okay, well,
Fam.
hope you figure that out. You know what I mean? Tasha, I don't want to know this. I don't want to know these things. I don't want to know these things.
So of course, I stopped on a comment on Twitter. Again, the comment section is my happy place. Somebody gonna say, "Why not just buy local?"
I bet y'all trying to do it Small Business Monday type of deal. Like what?
It said support the local economy, and I said, "I'm not mad at it." I'm sorry.
Y'all confusing me.
I'm sorry. I ain't even changed the banner. I ain't even changed the banners, man. Join the convo. Tell us what you're drinking. Oh man.
She said I may be able to afford that upscale handyman. No, right. Tapping out. Tap it out. Tap. Tapping out. T, coach.
Flag on the play.
Coach. Me and T. Take me out. Take me out, coach. Dad. That's what he says. Dad. No. T. Take.
I told Candace I'm gonna start taking pictures of her feet so she can start a feet OnlyFans. Yeah. I said, babe.
Why you playing? I should record. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would love to watch Danielle roll her locks. Like just hand roll her locks.
But I don't want her face on it though. So she got to roll
the
back side of her head.
It would just be her hands, just her hands doing this. And if you record the sound, I'm sure there's some weird thing out there that's like that we could be making bank. But also, the stuff is weird. I don't need anybody running up on my wife in the mall and being like,
"That's why you got to do her feet. That's why you got to do the feet."
You don't know how sick people are. They will be like this. I know those toes.
No, those
toes. Yes, they will. Because they're weirdos out here, man.
Hey, fam. I done already told Candace if stuff get tight, she getting the feet only fan.
She getting a feet only fan.
She getting the only fan, and we just gonna show her feet, y'all. If it gets tight around here, I'm just letting y'all know.
Yeah,
y'all gonna see Candace advertising on Twitter about her OnlyFans, and it's just gonna be her feet for $1 a day. You can get access to her OnlyFans.
Let's get up out of here. Let's do our favorite part of this. What's happening now?
Shit, my wife, she must not be watching no more. Y'all don't text my wife. Y'all know I love her. She's not gonna be an OnlyFans.
You hear that?
She's not gonna be an OnlyFans. Y'all know I love my wife.
That is me tapping out. Tapping out.
Oh gosh, I blame you for the rabbit hole we just went down.
I blame you for that rabbit hole because I tried to avoid it. I was like, "Hey, we can skip them," and I would have no loss. Team, no loss. Ding, ding, ding.
Keisha said,
tapping out. Thank you, sir.
Amateur night at the Blue Flame.
I ain't even gonna go there. We're gonna
And then,
stop.
of course, I love you, babe.
I'm watching Tony and Keisha talk about how they not gonna get divorced, and this is hilarious to watch a couple in love talk about how they not gonna divorce each other. Y'all ain't getting divorced. Y'all ain't getting
Oh,
nowhere near divorce. You ain't sharing no house. Y'all know y'all love each other, so it is
oh,
what it is. That's when you just look at each other. You ever be in that place where you're like, we gonna argue, but we're not gonna resolve anything, so we're just gonna go into our corner, be like, well.
and then eventually somebody gonna come back to each other and speak nice.
No, so that's not how that goes. This is how it normally goes. It's like all I'm saying is what we eating for dinner.
Right.
And you just move on. You want pizza? You don't want pizza? You want a rotisserie chicken from Publix? No. All right. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I typically rub up on her and I rub her butt or something like that. Be like, all right, that's my I'm sorry.
Be like, that's your I'm sorry. I just move off. We just move. We have to go into separate corners. Separate corners. Everyone go into separate corners. Take a breather. Then we'll figure it out around food or something that we both can't decide on. It's like, well, we got to figure something out. So
We gotta eat. What you
we
feed?
got to.
It's typical. What you feeding your kids?
That's a slick way. I don't go that way. I can't do that. Then you'll be like, yo, kids. And then I can just see her like I can see the anger rising, you know.
All right, man, let's get out of here.
All right, so who's your hero? Who's your villain for the week?
Oh man, my villain is probably Ron DeSantis, which we talked about already. So no need to get back in. Actually, we talked about both my villains. My villains are kids' birthday parties and and Ron DeSantis. Those are my two villains.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Hero, we need to have this conversation, but we don't got no time to have this conversation. If you have kids and you ain't already prepping for what they're gonna do this summer for summer camp and stuff, you behind.
Right. I tried to tell people. I be trying to tell people like, yo, this camps change. At some point, camps used to be like a month long, and now they just like a week.
I text Marlon today because Zay normally does Marlon's baseball camp. I texted him today, hey, when them dates for your camp so we can go and get this stuff on the calendar and get this stuff paid for. So my hero got to be all the parents that's on that game right now and got their kids signed up for camp already.
Yeah, we're not a part of that club. We're not there yet. We are the ones that are out here lacking. We lacking a little bit, but it's only because it's our first summer. It's our first summer.
You got time. And let me tell you something. You got to get July. You don't have to worry about because July is a couple built-in kind of vacation kind of days, weeks in there. June, you got to get at least 2 or 3 things in there in June, or you ain't gonna get no work done. You got to get that thing. You got to do at least 2 camps because you need 2 weeks. You just need 2 solid weeks so that you can get some work done. If you don't, it's hard. Now you about to start working from home full time.
See, I'm just looking forward to the future where we take summers off, that we work towards the kids' schedule, right? And it's like, yeah, you know, it's no point in the whole economy the whole economy needs to shut down. It's summer. It's holiday.
I told you next summer, man. My goal is we have saved up enough where we can because my job is I can be on and off. I can be virtual or in person, right? So I can do either one. The whole month of June, just go spend the whole month of June at a beach. Yeah, and boom.
That's goals. That is goals. Like I would pay for a nice house on the beach, just so I could be like, y'all go out there. I'm gonna be on the deck. I'm working. We got this, and then we shutting it down.
Next summer. That's what I want to do.
We got to figure that out. So
anyway, well, who you hero, who you villain?
Heroes, villains. I've already talked about most of mine. My main villainy of the week has to be that Trump, Kevin McCarthy thing. That's fascinating. And then my hero of the week. I don't know, man. I thought I saw someone post somebody's job history on LinkedIn that said they started at Theranos, the company that folded with the DNA testing thing. Then they went to, I think it was FTX right before they shut down. And then they ended up at Silicon Valley Bank right for like the past year or so. And it's like, this has got to be the worst job history. Oh, and they had WeWork on there too. And it said, all the companies, you, sir, are a bad omen. I hope you get a pension for life, because that is a horrible career trajectory.
That's rough.
Everywhere you've gone, things have collapsed. I do have one other thing that's coming up probably next week that I'll talk about, but we're still working on some things. So we'll see about it. So
we'll see about
it.
Hey man, that's the show.
That is the show. We made it through. Congratulations.
Hey man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like. I'm gonna hit the like button, hit the share button, man. So we can drive these numbers up. Appreciate the folks who watched with us today. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Tell a friend.
I hope y'all enjoyed. Tell a friend, log in, tune in. Let's do this. Every Monday, we here, right?
Baby. Every Monday.
All right, man. So
I'm out. I'm Jeff.
Check y'all next time. I'm Kerry. Peace out, y'all.
On Mondays, baby.